Correctional officers deserve better equipment for safety by Carl R. Torsman's former deputy warden and trainer, New Mexico and Arizona Department of Corrections. Every day, correctional officers risk their lives, walking the narrow gray corridors to and from their assigned posts, having nothing but a radio to communicate as their lifeline to safety and help. Every day, they walk among the prison population, handle whatever comes their way in a manner prescribed by law and training. These are the daily risks involved in correctional work. Today, unlike the past, officers are being assaulted frequently as the prison population has turned more violent and more risky in an already volatile setting as it is. The focus on staff safety has been completely ignored or diminished as agencies focus on other things inside the prison system that are listed to be more urgent or more important than safety equipment for staff. These statistics show 33%. Today it's been reported that 1 out of 3 assaults take place inside of a prison against an officer or prison employee. An unarmed officer who walks among these convicted felons makes you have nightmares and sweat in your sleep if you are among these violent killers and predators. A reality check. Staff ratio vary from 1 to 50 to 1 to 500, depending where you work and what activities going on at the same time. Either way, it's a dangerous situation to be put in without some sort of safety net. Think about it. As a former and current correctional officers, we understand that prisons are potentially hazardous, dangerous, and unpredictable. We knew that when we took the job. What we didn't know was how the administration would turn a blind eye to our needs for safety equipment that works, that is practical, and that is available. The key word is available. Reading Bob Ortega's 4-day piece on Arizona prisons, it's clear prisons are deadly. We understand that better since Mr. Ortega took the time to research the conditions inside of our prisons and paid attention to detail that is most commending. He didn't write about the officers' plight, though. They're just as important as the prisoner's dilemma of being safe. In fact, as a former correctional officer, I would say keeping officers safe should be the second priority, as public safety ranks #1. Hostilities and violence go together. Unpredictable, it's important for officers to have the right staffing patterns, the right safety tools, and the right equipment to work with. Every day we hear staff complain about not having adequate equipment that includes face masks, shields, gloves, stab vest inserts. This list even includes obsolete or non-working handheld scanners that are needed to detect metal objects before they're used in the assault. Drive vehicles that are dangerously close to being redlined and without air conditioning in Arizona heat. They had to transport vehicles without radios or poor maintenance conditions such as bad brakes, overheating, cracked windshield, broken lights, faulty electrical system, weak batteries, leaving them stranded on the side of the road and putting the public and the officer at risk. It has been pointed out by Mr. Ortega the prevalent use of drugs, the availability of prison-made weapons, and the self-made home brew or alcohol that adds to the environment's hostilities and unpredictability. Inmates demonstrate violent behavior, even when they don't act out, testing the system an opportunity to retaliate and strike back at the system that put them there. A correctional officer is at the mercy of the offender's anger and is often targeted, intentional or unintentional, by directed, harsh, and unreasonable anger or mismanagement that includes violent behaviors with sharp instruments, blunt trauma to the head, and various methods of kicking and punching those caught off guard or walking into a trap, a preset trap, premeditated trap. They are exposed. It is interesting, and it's an interesting fact that a police officer assigned to patrol the community streets and deals daily with criminals for only a few minutes, perhaps all the way up to booking, is equipped with multiple pieces of safety equipment that allows them to remain safe to a certain degree. Their toolbox full of equipment much needed and available instantly. Most of them keep their stuff in the trunk and is ready to work. On the other hand, a correctional officer assigned to supervise these same individuals picked up off the street, they have to deal and manage with them and their behaviors with nothing but words and a radio for help. They do not even have protective clothing or stab vest unless assigned to a max custody facility or a detention unit. Look at the comparison between the two. Police officers, correctional officers, same individuals. With today's design and manufacturing capabilities to provide correctional staff with protective gear that includes lightweight trauma stab vest and ballistic vest, you would think there would be plenty of them on hand when officers need them. At the same time, if they would need to perform emergency transports in the middle of the night, you would think they have a vehicle that was in proper working condition to take that officer and his prisoner safely to their destination. At least I would hope, but that's not the case in many prison settings around here in Arizona. Today, corrections unions remain quiet and ask for nothing and makes prison work safe. Ultimately, they have a voice to say or demand what is needed, yet they remain silent, using the freedoms they are entitled to in order to protect others they represent. Why is their silence so prevalent? Today, the voices of sanity as well as insanity remain quiet as a catastrophe, or until a catastrophe occurs, and then the finger pointing and blame language will engulf the media, with both sides accusing each other. Perhaps a proactive step is needed to avoid this catastrophe that could cost human lives and tragedies, as has already been demonstrated anytime, anywhere, and that the value of life inside prisons has been marginalized by society and cultural indifferences. Remember, Arizona is not immune to what's been happening throughout the country. Thank you. Be safe.